Hello, hello. I think we have the audio working. Maybe, Chris, if you want to give me a confirmation that everything looks good and sounds good, that would be amazing. Good to go, good to go. And then I'll go ahead and start with my little intro here. Blah, blah, blah. Amazing. So yeah, for everybody tuning in, welcome. This is the virtual reality show studio. Right now, if you're on the stream, you can only see technically my avatar inside of the theater here, which is where we're going to be starting. Everybody else, I'm going to do a quick 180 with my camera. You can see we have a lovely audience of lovely people all loaded into the world here with us as well. So yeah, very, very exciting. I'm going to give a little bit of an introduction about the studio and who I am, just so you can kind of know what you're getting yourself into today. So hello, my name is Phia, otherwise known as Phia Bunny. I run the virtual reality show, which is a YouTube series that I started about 3 years ago, where I talk about virtual reality related concepts from inside of VR itself here in my avatar. And so recently, within the past couple of months, I've been working really hard in VRChat to create this entire entertainment studio. So one of my really good friends, he's arguably one of the most talented world builders inside of VRChat, is absolutely incredible. I worked with him to create this entertainment studio where so much is possible that isn't necessarily possible in real life. So there's a lot of different ways that you can explore entertainment immersively and virtually and all of this and that. And I really wanted to create a space where you could do so much of that all together under one roof and under one community, and try and share and expand that as far as possible. So, with that said, I have a whole lovely group of people here in Worlds who are going to be going around on this live studio tour with me today. If you didn't make it into the world, that is okay, because I will say after this event, we're also going to be doing a live after party that Thrill, if you were watching, Thrill Seeker just gave like his own little talk. He is my wonderful, wonderful partner and an amazing DJ. He's going to be doing a whole after party after this as well. So if you didn't make it into this main instance, you can join my Discord server, which is discord.gg/Phia, and we're going to be posting extra links to additional instances with some staff members running it, so that you can be there and enjoy the music even if you aren't in this main one with us here right now. So yeah, that's basically the best introduction I think I can give. So I would love to go ahead and start here in the theater and kind of give you guys a look around so you can see what we actually have. So I'm going to change up my personal camera here for a second, since I am doing all of this by hand right now. But yes. So this whole theater is made loosely based off of what you'd imagine to see at something like an opera house. So if we kind of come from the back, we can see you have this entire stage made for performances and this huge audience with toggleable chairs. So you can either choose to sit in it, and if you have full body tracking, you can turn it off so you can adjust your feet the way that you want. And up here on the stage, you're able to do any kind of live performance. There's going to be like stand-up nights and things like that with actors and performers and musicians. My next event this month is going to be with a bunch of live musicians up there. But one thing we also have that we set up for my very first event recently was a cinema mode. So if everybody in the world wants to come and try this, you absolutely can. You press this button down here, and it turns the whole thing into a movie theater. So it's really dark. Unfortunately, I can't stream to the event and to the world at the same time. But just like I'm streaming on this camera right now, I can also stream onto this giant movie screen behind the curtains that pulls back. So from there, we're able to host lots and lots and lots of really fun different events, more so than just live performances. I can actually host live premieres for any kind of film as well, which is the very first event that I had back last month, which was really amazing and exciting. I had a VRChat filmmaker who actually makes their films in VRChat, then premiere a red carpet viewing of the film in VRChat in the studio. So it is pretty awesome, to say the least. So from there, if we all want to move back through the doors here, we can go see the main lobby, which usually is where you would have started, but for this tour, we started in here. So let's go ahead and go through the door, everybody. And voila, welcome to the main lobby of the virtual reality show studio. So typically whenever your avatar loads into the world, you start over there on the red carpet. Hello, Mr. Mushroom. We can then be greeted by this giant waterfall. So if you're respawning into this world the first time, which all of these people here obviously did, the entire thing starts off in black and white. And if you're a fan of the virtual reality show, you know that the biggest aesthetic, the biggest aesthetic we have is just a love of rainbows. So you walk through this waterfall and it brings a splash of color, so to speak, into the entire main lobby, where you're greeted by this nice statue of me. I never expected it to be so massively big, but even if you're not here, I guess you can come hang out with the giant version of me at least. And some of the artistic things that you might notice as well is on the sides of the walls, there are little details such as the sparkling lights and the lights up on the staircase and whatnot, and all of these flashes of colors that are slowly moving in different directions. And so the whole idea is that you come into this lobby in this world and you have these different areas that you're being very subtly and subconsciously guided towards so that you want to move forward. So obviously from this side you can see where we just came out of is the theater. We have movie posters that can get updated monthly. We're about to update these for this month's event very shortly. So that's what some of those are. We have rotating posters. We have VIP rooms as well, which I don't know if we'll go into currently if we have time. But also we have video players that are attached to different areas of the world, such as up here above the theater. So theoretically, if we were playing a film inside, we could also have letters going across that says now playing this movie by this person or this performer doing this. And it's a very, very fun, exciting way to get you more hyped up about the event. So from here, I think we're going to go up the staircase to kind of the main area that I think people kind of expect out of a place like this, which is the studio room. So if everybody wants to go ahead and climb up the staircase, we can run up there. And voila. So I'll try and set up my camera over here. So as you can see, we have this recording studio. I'm going to turn off my camera focus here. We have this recording studio. I think people are liking it. That's a good sign. If you did fall down, if you fell down here, which I'll explain in just a moment, you can just respawn into the world and come walk right back up. I'll explain why that is in a second. I promise it makes sense. Okay, well, we'll have one of the staff members. If somebody could show them really quickly how to respawn on their menu, that'd be great. Very classic VR experience. Oh, I just fell off, you know, a 3-story cliff. Oh no, what do I do about that? Oh no, you're fine. We're in the middle of a tour. We're in the middle of a tour though, so feel free to listen in. So from this view, you can see we have this whole audience section set up with lots and lots of chairs, just like back in the theater. But over here, we also have this whole late night talk show style section, which is really exciting. We're going to be coming back here in just a few minutes. Hey guys, your audio projection is coming off because you're on the stage. So if you could please respawn so your conversation isn't blasted. Thank you. That's so funny. Lots of funny things. All right. Okay, so like I said, it's very late night talk show idea kind of centered. Everybody, can we please mute our microphones, please? Again, thank you. So you can imagine instead of Jimmy Kimmel sitting up there, maybe it's Phia or somebody else giving an interview towards any kind of creator that's doing something in the space. So let me hop over and try not to fall. There we go. I didn't fall down. So I mentioned before, it's actually possible to fall off of this stage right now. And the reason being is this is one of the areas that's not quite finished yet. And it's actually really exciting. What we're planning to do is there's a whole second level down the stairs. There is a second stage underneath this stage. And the audience section, we're actually going to program it to move up and down. So you as an audience member can be seated watching the interview, and then the whole thing moves down and you can watch, you know, a musical performance of somebody singing or playing their guitar, etc. So that's also a really fun feature that is coming very soon. So from there, if everybody wants to go back into the lobby, I'll meet you there. I'm going to respawn off the stage. All right, so now we're back in the lobby. And the next area that I would love to show off is Club Bunny. So this one is one that's gonna really light up after all of this when we go to the after party. So we still have a few minutes before we really get to see this one fully fleshed out, like I said. But Club Bunny, obviously based around Phia Bunny. I really love bunnies, and that's kind of a funny motif that's fleshed around everywhere here. We can go inside and see exactly what it looks like. All right, so we'll let everybody crowd in here. So Club Bunny is a nightclub slash lounge slash bar, which is an area I really had in mind where people can come and do networking events or DJ and play music events and kind of any social gathering you could possibly hope for, especially after doing something like this, like a tour or giving an interview or a live performance. Coming in here and people playing music and the whole place lighting up, getting to explore around and dance and hang out with friends or network with new people is really, really fun. So you can't see it right now, and again, this is what we're gonna be seeing at the after party in fully fleshed form, is this tree here actually lights up to music. So the DJ, and in this case it's going to be Thrill, he has a whole little section of the venue back here in this corner where there is water on the walls, and you can't see it right now because it's very dark, but I promise it's there. There is water on the walls in this dome and a live LED TV screen behind him. So when he is DJing in this little area, the whole thing is going to light up in the same colors as he has to match his visuals. And then this tree as well will also, all of the leaves are going to light up just like a giant RGB LED rainbow cherry blossom tree. And the whole place seriously just comes right to life. So I hope you guys are looking as forward to that as I am. But some other little things that are pretty fun is little factors like the lanterns here. Obviously, it's very Eastern inspired. The kanji character, the character that's on there, actually means bunny. So it's kind of a fun motif that gets thrown around this whole place. So back here as well is kind of another fun little section. If you click through the door, we have another door over there, which is the VIP section. But if you click through this door, you can come up to the top. We've got a mini bar and a pool. So if you want to kind of get away from maybe the crowded dance floor but still have a view of the tree and the stage and everybody going and dancing around, you can also see the VIP zone over there. There's Lyle. It's one of our staff members. Hi, Lyle. But you can come hang out in kind of a more chill, secluded area, and the whole pool lights up and all of this really, really fun atmosphere. And it's all just a thing that really couldn't exist in real life, which I think is what makes it so special. So from there, if everybody wants to go back down, I think we can run back out to the lobby. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, and one fun thing, okay, I will mention this. Some of them are already out there, but this is a little silly thing. I think some people already grabbed them. We have drinks of choice, my absolute favorite, White Claw Mango, and you can pick them up. You can pick them up in the world and have some White Claws with your friends. So Perhaps you like that. Maybe you're not a drinker. That's okay too. But you know, wouldn't be a party without White Claw in the Phia universe. That's for sure. All right, so we can step back out again here now. Awesome. So those are the three main areas that I think people notice whenever they come into the world for the first time. But believe it or not, there actually are some other areas that are a little bit a little bit more hidden, that I think are a little more special too, because you can't find them quite off the bat. So the first place we're gonna go to is one that's very special to me. There's no door to get there, so it is a little bit more hidden. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be a little bit cramped with all of these people. If you're a little claustrophobic, you might want to stick back for this part. But if you're okay cramming into a room with all of you guys, then we can actually go to the map of the TVRS studio, which is to the left of the entrance here. So if everybody wants to walk over here with me, we have our teleport locations. So don't click on anything quite yet, otherwise you'll teleport off to a different area away from the group. We don't want that. But you can see the theater is right down there where we just started off at. We have the studio up at the top where we're going to be doing the interview with Swa later. And we also have the club, which we just went to. But there's two other areas we haven't gone to yet. The one that we can only get to via the map is going to be this top left one there. Wonder what that could be. Let's go ahead and everybody can click into there. And here's the tiny cramped room. Normally I would expect only a few people to come over here at a time. But maybe in this case, I'm having a house party in my bedroom and I invited 80 people at a time. You know what? I guess only in virtual reality is that possible. Biggest sleepover ever. So it's a little hard to show exactly what's in here with all these people, I guess, but it is supposed to be basically kind of a little glimpse into me as the host of the virtual reality show, and kind of my own little virtual safe place as well. See a little behind the scenes, like what is it like in the life of Phia? Well, now you know. One thing, I'm obviously a giant Legend of Zelda fan, so Sly put in some little cameos of things that I'm a fan of, like the Legend of Zelda over here. Also, my favorite two albums of all time, if you know, you know, Porter Robinson's Worlds, and of course, Madeon, Good Faith. Very, very, very good albums. Also, some of the biggest inspirations that I had when I first got into VR to even get in VR. So if that's interesting, perhaps go look into those. Over here, of course, too, on the wall, how could I not have a lovely photo of me and my wonderful partner, Thrill? I love him very much. In VR together, holding hands over a starry night mountaintop. So, I don't know. Kind of a cool special thing again as well. Besides that, we also have a pretty hilarious addition that I think most people probably wouldn't think that you would need in a VR space, but we do have a full marble bathroom. So if you get feeling a little stinky and you need to rinse off in the virtual shower, then this is your place. So I apologize with the camera right now. It's a little hard to get a good shot of everybody, but this is a group shower session. Oh no, don't ban us! Don't ban us! And then in here is the last small section, the very cramped hallway. We'll probably add some extra features here at some point, but we do have a poster for my favorite video game of all time, which is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, I'm a Pokemon kid. Who can blame me? Seems like I'm not the only one. And so with that, I actually want to take us to what I would say is the most special and the most incredible part of this entire studio world. So with that, if everybody wants to respawn again, I'll give an introduction and we can move on to there. All right. So we'll kind of let everybody in here. We'll move out of the way so we can get more people in the view. Okay, can everybody hear me okay? We're all good over here? All right. So the next area I'm going to show you is something that I specifically had in mind whenever I was designing this world as something that wasn't necessarily used as entertainment purposes. So you're not supposed to have a performance, you're not supposed to give an interview or anything like that, or even party, but we have this very, very special space where you're able to explore the limits of things that are only possible in virtual reality. And so what exactly does that mean? What is only possible in virtual reality? Well, I have this place and I call it the Geodome, all right? So kind of like you'd imagine a greenhouse to look like. It's very similar to that. We might have to break into 2 groups for this part because there's so many of us and it is a tinier space, kind of like the bedroom that we were just at. So I might break us into 2 groups and run through it twice. But there are, like I said, 4 different areas. The first 3 are ones that are places that I think everybody has wanted to go at some point, but maybe haven't necessarily had the opportunity to go before. But then the 4th area was something made by a really good friend of mine. His name is Screaming Color. So Sly is the one who designed and created this entire world, except for this one portion that was created by Screaming Color. And he is very, very, very well known in the VRChat community for his beautiful animations. And that's pretty much the only hint I'm going to give as to what exactly that is going to look like. So I think for the camera now, I'm actually going to switch over to first person mode. I want to switch over to first person mode so that it doesn't get quite as cramped. I just need to turn on a setting and make sure I have that. But we'll go find, there is a doorway that'll take us to where the Geodome is. So I'm gonna turn on my camera smoothing for the first person. So it's gonna be a little bit of a different view, that's for sure. A little bit of a different view. So I'm gonna turn on my camera and my safety feature here. And I'm gonna turn off this one. All right, so now the stream people should be able to see my hands, everything from my first person point of view. Hopefully that is looking okay. I'm actually gonna check my screen really quickly and make sure that it's all coming through okay. So yeah, looks pretty good, looks pretty good. Hello everybody. So if we could, I'm gonna try and break us up into 2 groups. Can I have like a team A and team B, and we can roughly like break up into like a half here if we kind of cut down the middle? So I have like a team A and a team B. Does that work? Yes, there you go. All right, awesome. Yeah, I need you to pick a group, Evelyn and Adam, please. Okay, awesome. All right, I will take group A. If you guys will follow me first, we'll just run through it, and we'll probably take the last 5 minutes to do that, and then another 5 minutes with you guys. And then we're gonna go do the interview with Swa, which I'm really, 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 really excited about, because you'll actually get to see this place used in action. Which, hi Swa, by the way. Hello, Swa. All right, cool. Well, group A, if you want to follow me up the staircase, I'll be back down here with you guys. Lyle, I think if Lyle's over here, will you do some babysitting for me and make sure, you know, these guys go, you know, start like spilling popcorn all over the floor and stuff? That'd be perfect. All right, so we're gonna enter this door. Do not pass through the big shiny thing before I say to pass through it, all right? Everybody always wants to click on it before I say you can. Do not click on the big shiny thing. Hello, hello. Yes, so this is the entrance to the magical virtual exploration geodome that I mentioned before, which is very, very, very fun. So, like I said, there's 4 different areas in there. It is going to be a little cramped, so just try and be mindful of the people around you. Also, please try and keep it as quiet as possible for this part, because if you're loud, it's going to be really loud on my stream. Um, but the very final area that I will show you guys, there is going to be an orb in the center. Do not touch the orb, because I need everybody to touch it at one time for it to sync up. So everybody will have to click it on their own, but it'll have to be at the same time. So just wait and make sure you save that to do it with the group. But with that, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, well, welcome to the moon. So this is the first area. Oh, they don't hear any of this sound? Oh, okay, awesome. I will fix that for the interview. That's actually better, because there's no audio in the world other than people talking. Okay, well, that's fine then. Thank you for the heads up. Cool. So, welcome to the Geodome. Like I said, this is a place, as you can imagine, it's very small, but it feels very safe and comfortable, and that's kind of the feel that I really wanted for this. Is I wanted something that felt really small and comfy, but when you look outside of it, it feels so big and large. Like there's so much outside it that you could see and experience. So obviously with this first area, it is the sun and the sun, and then we're on the moon, and then you can see the Earth. And up above the stars, they're actually twinkling and very slowly moving over the horizon. If you look very closely, you'll notice that they're moving. I find this to be a very relaxing spot to sit and hang out with your friends and enjoy. I've always wanted to go to space. That's been like a lifelong dream of mine. And so through something like this, it's possible. You can't do this in real life unless, I don't know, maybe buy enough Teslas and somebody will let you. But so there's these invisible boxes here. We're still designing the actual clickable object toggles. So this very first one is the one we're going to click on. So, welcome to the second Geodome, which is one of my all-time favorites. This is the Under the Sea. So anybody who's familiar with Sly, the world creator, his signature is that he creates these incredible water-themed worlds, whether that's on a beach or a cruise ship that he created into a music festival, or of course he has lots of underwater-themed areas as well. And so that was a personal ask, is how cool would it be to go sit at the bottom of the ocean in this tiny little dome with a couple friends and just watch fish swim by and see moving underwater coral. And I don't know, it's just absolutely breathtaking. So this is the second place that I think is really special and awesome. So the third block here is the one that we haven't been to, I don't think, if I have the order correct. All right, I was wrong. Never mind. Did you press the second one? Press the second one. So this area is still a work in progress area. This one is not quite finished yet. But the whole point of this section was I grew up in the Midwest. I am a Missouri girl, despite living in Miami now. I grew up in Missouri. And one of the things that I really, really always loved is seeing the fireflies as the sun set, and smelling that earthy air, going out camping or walking around in the woods. And that's something that as a Miami girl now, like I most certainly do not have whatsoever. And so I also think that VR is a really good way to revisit places that you can't necessarily go, or at least not all the time, even, you know, if it's not to the moon. So to me, this is a very special thing because you can see the fireflies and the sun setting and the trees moving. So we do want to work on this area a little bit more and make it a little fancier and nicer, but that is the idea. So finally, we'll go to the fourth area, which is the final one, and then I'll switch over to taking Group B through here as well. But like I said, this is going to have a little circle orb in the very center. Do not touch it until I say go, okay? Do not touch it. So over here, everybody can go ahead and click on the fourth one. Yes, do not touch, do not touch, do not touch. Do not touch the magic shiny orb. I know it is very tempting. Everybody is going, ooh, shiny. All right, do we have pretty much everybody here? They all loaded in? Okay, cool. All right, then everybody, I want you to stick your hand out. Do not click until I count down from 5, all right? On the count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press. Yeah, I would have changed the world audio on for this because there are sound effects, but that's just motivation that if you're watching the stream, to come in here for yourself, because I'll have to fix the audio for the interview, but I'll do that after this. So I know from a 2D perspective, inside of like on a flat screen, if you're watching the stream or the Twitch stream, you might think like, oh yeah, big whoop, it's like a funny animation, right? Well, when you're actually here in VR, and I can assure you based on people's oohs and ahs right here right now, this is one of the most surreal experiences to, I think, what's your name? AP0 is really enjoying it. Yes, you're loving it. But yeah, this was my whole idea of I wanted something that is only possible in virtual reality. Not a place that you can't go without virtual reality, but something that is only possible with virtual reality. And so Screaming Keller, as you can imagine with his name, created something very much in the TVRS rainbow style, where you just completely immerse yourself in here and it just moves and explodes around you. And it is absolutely breathtaking. And the thing about VR is that watching this flat screen just will never do it justice, because there's nothing quite like looking up the same way you would look up at a tall skyscraper and feeling that immense presence and pressure above you. It's that same kind of feeling that can't be replicated. So that is this section. So I'm gonna quickly, I know I'm technically running out of time, so Chris and Scott, I know you guys are watching. I'm gonna try, if it's okay for me to run through the next group and do that and take a little bit longer and go right into the interview and still do the 15 minutes. I would assume since I'm the closing block, it's okay for me to go a little extra longer, but please tell me if that is a problem. But yeah, from here, if everybody will respawn and then go sit back in the group A section, I'm gonna take the other group through here. All right, hello, group B, hello. Hello. All right, I think I can switch my capture here. I think the stream should be able to hear the in-world audio. Hopefully that's not too jarring. Go for it. All right, awesome. Thank you, Chris. Sick. All right, cool. Well, I think Group A really enjoyed what they saw, so hopefully that's a little bit of excitement for Group B here. So if you guys will follow me up the stairs and through the door, like I told them, do not touch the big glowy shiny thing. Do not walk at it. I know it is very tempting, but do not walk into it. So you're gonna follow me up the stairs. And I'll keep the explanations a little briefer this time for you guys, but I think it's kind of self-explanatory being in VR versus like trying to explain it to somebody who is outside of VR, so. All right, lovely. So welcome, this is the entrance to, and that person totally did not listen and went in without us. This is a great lesson on what not to do, kids. I know, some people can't resist the big shiny things. I can't blame them, But yes, this is the entrance to the Geodome. As I explained it earlier before I took the other group in there, there is the 4 different places 3 of them are places that, you know, you can't go to without virtual reality, and 1 is the final one that only could exist in virtual reality. So I am going to tell you guys what I told them. In the 4th area, there's going to be a big shiny orb, and I know it is very, 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 very tempting, but do not press it when we go into the 4th area, because everybody needs to press it at the exact same time for us to all be synced up. So when I say go, you can do it, but hold off until then. So let's go ahead and jump in.
Oh my god.
Yo.
The moon?
Oh, there's so many people. Tiny space, tiny space, tiny
Yeah,
space.
it's tiny. It's tiny.
I can't see.
I'm
done.
So I'll give you guys the same. Hey, let's keep it. Okay, let's also keep it quiet if possible, guys. Let's keep it, since it's a smaller area in here. Thank you. So the whole idea of the Geodome section, as you can see, is it is very close and comfortable, and it's supposed to provide you with those feelings so that you feel very relaxed here. But because of the glass geodome around you, you look outside and you feel everything as if it's out there, and it feels so grand compared to you staring out. So obviously, with it being here on the moon, isn't a place that you can just normally go, but for someone like me, I've always loved and wanted to go to space, so this is a way that that's possible. You have the sun on one side, the earth on the other side, and then the stars are twinkling overhead. And if you look closely at the horizon line, you'll also notice that the stars are actually turning. We are rotating. So very subtle little things in there that make it feel so magical and grand. Cool. So let's go ahead and jump into the second area. So there are invisible boxes here. The very first invisible box is the one that we want to go to. Welcome. So this section is the underwater scene, and I mentioned before that Sly is the one who made this world. Sly is really, really, really well known for his water-themed worlds, and so of course I couldn't have this world built without some kind of special underwater scene. And very similarly, this isn't something you could like just kind of go and do, is hang out at the bottom of the seafloor with some friends and look up and see the fish swimming above you, hanging out on like you know, comfy chair over there. So that's why I think this is a really special one too, is it, you know, shows Sly's creativity. So let's go back to one of these other ones. I think it was the second one. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And this area is supposed to be a little more relaxed, but the meaning behind this one is I grew up in the Midwest in Missouri. I now live in Miami, but one of the things I always loved about the nature out in the Midwest is these really wonderful sunsets, especially in the summertime, where you have the fireflies turning around and the great like summer golden rays of sun coming through the leaves and taking a walk in the forest. And that is something that I can't really do living in the city. So to me, this is a very special thing where it's not just a place I can't visit, but it's like a memory, which also makes it very special. So this is very much a work in progress as far as this one goes. It is the only area that isn't finished yet. But with that, we'll go ahead and go into the fourth area that I mentioned before. Let's click on the button, but remember, don't hit the orb until I say go. It's the very fourth one.
Whoa.
Oh no, it wasn't synced. Okay, hold on.
Don't touch it.
All right, well that's fine then. I guess for me, it isn't synced up. Because I already came in here. Okay. So for you guys, I'm gonna have to do the closing animation because I already had this play. But you guys are inside of the dome still, right? The geodome?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then I want all of you guys to go ahead and put your hand on the orb. Do not click. Do not click. And then when I count to 3, say 3, 2, 1, click.
Run. Yeah.
Oh man. What the?
Oh yeah.
So you guys can see it. I can't see it right now.
Oh goodness.
Since I already have it played.
Creepy.
I clicked too late, man. I'm sorry.
But I guess that's
So it
perfect.
just starts the animation.
So I already ran this through with the stream, so you guys enjoy. Whenever you're done, respawn, and I'm gonna go start getting everybody else set up while you guys finish for the interview. So I'll see you all in a few.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Phia, real
Thank you.
quick, I think you've allowed me to take one of my best photographs in VRChat.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Get those great VRChat photos.
Thank the person.
Alright, hello everybody. Hello. Group B is finishing up the animation right now, so I was gonna go ahead and herd everyone into the studio and get set up.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, so let's find... Oh, nice arm. Everybody herd into the studio, please. Herd up into the studio.
I'm gonna go around and herd everyone in there.
Alright, sounds like a plan. Alright, so we need to get Swa set up, so let's go find Swa. I have no idea where he is. But now you guys get to see the studio tour live in action.
Here comes the
see
studio.
Alright. Okay, so it looks like we have everybody herded into here. The only thing now is... I feel bad, I'm running a little later than expected. Let me see... Where are you at? To Swa, and make sure that he gets in okay.
Swa's over here. They were doing something. I'm not exactly sure what. There was some sort of commotion.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, you're here?
I'm here.
Is it, we're all good? Everything's good? Yeah. I'm gonna set up the camera and stuff and make sure that we're all good to go.
Don't forget about your volume stuff, Phia.
Yeah, I have it fixed, no worries.
Yeah, volume, Phia, volume.
Alright, Swa, if you want to go take a seat at whichever chair works, I'm going to set up the camera while we're waiting for the other group, and we're going to move to the interview here.
Hey. Let's see.
Hey, am I sat or am I crouched?
This one.
Yep, you might have to drag down for that one.
Oh.
Sly put a collider in it.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I don't know what to.
Whoa.
Alright,
There
I'm
we
going to
go.
input
And-
the camera. Alright, I'm going to make sure my stream overlay as well doesn't cover anything. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it looks like group B is coming back now. Let me make sure. Is there anybody here that I could grab?
I can check on them if you want.
Yeah, I was hoping to grab one of the staff members, but I don't see any of them right now. Hey Turtle, are you there? Are you sentient?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Will you go through and just make sure there's nobody left in the geodome?
No, I do that.
Oh, you already did it? Oh, okay. Turtle, come back!
Yeah.
Alright, well maybe the group is more self-sufficient than I thought. Alright, Swa, how are you feeling? You about ready for all this?
Yes.
Yay! I'll give you a full introduction here in just a second. I think everybody's pretty much
Okay.
all set up. Alright, everybody should be able to hear us correctly or hear us okay. I'm gonna ask everybody to mute and I'm gonna go ahead and start the interview now. Cool. Awesome. So thank you guys so much, one, for coming along on the studio tour today. We covered, you know, a whole bunch of really cool areas and fun things to see, which there obviously is a lot to fit in half an hour period. But one thing, obviously, is the fact that people are even able to make something like this in VRChat, right? In virtual reality, you're able to create anything you could possibly imagine, and that's a really exciting, cool thing. So we have Swa here. And Swa, you are a very close friend. I don't know why you're ducking, but... Oh, wait, are you taking... You don't want to take it?
Yeah, I think someone's up on the stage.
Oh, I don't see anybody on the
little-
stage. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. They're clipping through.
There we go.
But yes, Swa, you were an incredible world builder, and one of my all-time favorites. I would love for you to talk a little bit about yourself and some of the projects that you've worked on, and how that actually, what does that mean for virtual reality? What does it mean to create a world in VRChat?
Oh. Honestly, I do not know where to begin, but I can kind of just Tarantino my way back through the past few years, having the opportunity to work with people like Sly, who built this place, and be on his team for Slyfest this year, working to bring Slyfest to life, and the magical land with the sea and the palace and all of that stuff. I'm going back to working in part with Thrill on Schism.
Yes.
And seeing that come to life and build a new community of people. Gosh, I honestly don't know what it. Oh.
Well, you mentioned Schism. I don't think most people probably know what Schism is. Will you explain that a little bit so people know?
So yeah, it is. Honestly, it's still a concept that I still haven't wrapped my head around, but just knowing that what idea it conveys, that to me is it's bringing out either the lightest or darkest parts in ourselves and making something beautiful from that, but then also just kind of like leaving that behind and then growing and learning from those experiences as well. So be it the music or the process of building that place in part with Thrill. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Schism, like you said, it is this really magical place where people can kind of find like the light and the darkness in themselves and lose themselves. And this whole idea of like virtual raves and venues and concerts and clubbing, this is something that a lot of people don't realize that is actually happening in VRChat, is this whole like culture, right? Which is why Thrill had you go create this crazy vision he had with Schism. And, you know, you really brought that whole thing to life, and he'll be here playing a DJ set as well. And there's this certain energy about everybody being in VR and having full body tracking and moving back and forth. I'm curious for you, what was the kind of kickstart for those types of experiences that made you want to put so much of your time and energy into working in VRChat?
I've always kind of had this fascination with open world platforms or video games, and always the underlying kind of like lurking in the shadows thing that I love to do most. I mean, it's in my name, which is music. So I've done anywhere from let's say like performance arts to then teching and teaching performance arts as well, and it all kind of like converged at this place where not only am I playing or taking part of these environments that I'm building, but now I'm in a sense like creating these for other people to enjoy as well.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of, like I said, that convergence of people people enjoying the things that you make, but at the same time kind of like it coming full circle, and then you kind of seeing that like reprojected back on itself of like what you've provided them, and they're kind of like echoing that back at you. So it was kind of this kind of ongoing call and response. So you it's kind of like I said early on, it's kind of difficult to kind of even encapsulate the certain emotions or the experiences that you can create or experience in virtual worlds because the
Absolutely.
possibilities are so endless. So, yeah.
No, you're totally right. It is this place. One of the things that just makes it so magical is exactly how you said. Is it's like this call and response, right? Here in VRChat, you have a community of people who love being here because it really stretches the limits of that imagination that we all have inside of us, right? You get to be somewhere and see things that you never thought were possible. And so then as a creator, I assume that what you're trying to say is that like you hear that and it makes you want to go make things when you hear people react to it. And then you have your own experiences reacting to other people's creations. And it really cultivates this really special atmosphere and this really special community that I think is very essentially and very rawly human, in a way that like you wouldn't necessarily expect something to be like virtual where everybody's using avatars to be so human. But at least to me, it feels like a very, very special projection of people's imaginations.
Exactly. Yes. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So are there any projects that you're working on right now, whether you can talk about them or maybe you can't talk about them, that you're excited about? And like, what about those things might be exciting for you that's coming to VR or VRChat?
Yeah, unfortunately, all the ones that I am currently working on are unable to be spoken about. But on my personal side of things, this past year, I don't want to say took a hiatus, but I really, over the past few years, just introspectively kind of reassessed what I was doing myself, because I feel like I get more enjoyment of doing the collaborative things and helping other people bring their visions to light, because then I also learn all these other things and pick up certain techniques or certain psychologies of environments that you wouldn't have else thought of if you just kind of just were doing your own thing the entire time. So it's opened me up to kind of going back to the roots of just a few years ago, kind of digging this stuff back up and relearning modeling and design and trying to fit some music in there too. So
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. The next thing I'm gonna be personally working on will be something that is may not be a venue or a club, but it will be like a musical experience. So,
that sounds awesome.
Yep.
Absolutely amazing. Cool. Well, is there any last things that you think are important that you'd like to share with everybody watching, whether they've been in VR before or they're here with us now? Any last thoughts?
I would just say, if you're here, you're watching, you're here with us now, virtually, Twitch, wherever you're watching from, if you haven't tried out virtual reality, augmented reality, or mixed reality, definitely, if you have the means to, just try it out.
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
There are many communities of people. No matter what it is that you're into, there's a place for each and every one of you.
Definitely.
So, yep.
Well, Swa, you absolutely nailed it. I love the worlds that you create. And I think anybody that gets into the VR music scene as well, especially if they go to Club Schism to hang out with Thrill and all of his people, I think they'll really understand exactly why all of this stuff is so important and why it's so inspiring and awesome. So I would love to thank you for coming to this whole tour talk and to MC Summit and being here and letting me interview you and talk a little bit about creating worlds. And then thank you as well to everybody over there in the audience. You guys were so much fun, and I'm so happy. They're sending emojis right now. I'm so happy that I got the opportunity to showcase this thing that I've been working so hard on with Sly and Screaming Color to bring to life, and I couldn't be more thrilled, no pun intended, to to be able to celebrate MC Summit and everything amazing that they've done with all the incredible speakers and all of the incredible insight and conversations that have gotten to happen today because of them. So thank you, MC Summit. I guess we can go ahead and start setting up the party. So with that said, Chris, I'm going to leave you. I have your chat message open in VR right now, so I won't end the stream until you tell me that it's okay. But just to give everybody a rundown for how the after party is going to work is obviously we have this instance here that everybody's in, but each instance only holds 80 people. So I assume with the amount of people watching on both Twitch and then the MC Summit people, there's probably going to be a lot trying to get in. So how you can do that is going to discord.gg/Phia. Onto your web browser, and it'll pull you up to my personal Discord server. We have a section down below if you scroll that says TVRS Studio, and we're going to be putting all of our links and the extra instances that you can come listen to the music at in there. So I really hope you guys all enjoyed today. I need to make sure that we're all good because Thrill's going to set up his music. I hear he's getting it rolling right now. And then everybody get into VR, and we'll probably be up in a few minutes here. So I think there was going to be an outro section for Scott or Chris or one of them to wrap up the MC Summit event. So definitely stay tuned before you hop out of VR quite yet. I'm going to wait for them. Oh, you're over here. Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. Are you ready for me to end stream, or do you want to come to the camera and talk to everybody? You totally can.
Well, if you're done with the interview, then I'll go ahead and do the outro, but I don't want to interrupt until you
Yep, I'm all finished.
Awesome. All right. I'll keep it brief then.
Yeah,
Where's the
go ahead.
camera? There's a bunch of them.
Camera's right here, so you can stand over here if you want.
Stand over here where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. There it is. All right. Just real quick to everybody, thank you again so much for joining us at our inaugural MC Summit Conference. This has been an absolute blast. We're so glad how it turned out, and please keep in touch. This community, after all, is made for you guys. It's not just for us, so let's keep the conversations going in Discord and in other places, and keep in touch. We're going to do the hackathon, and we'll do this again sometime soon, all right? Thank you again so much for your time, and thank you, Phia and Thrill and all the other speakers. This has been absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.